What's up, everyone? This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talk, no sugar added. I am chilling on Winject, as you guys know, and I am in love with this platform. If you are a content creator, somebody who is creating a podcast or want to know more about Winject, get onto winject.com, especially slash register if you want to go ahead and be a part of the community there, be a part of my community. They are doing amazing things on there. You are missing out if you are not a part of that. So make sure you go onto winject.com/register and check it out. And I'm really serious. Like, it is freaking awesome, right? They're doing things that I haven't found anywhere else. So just make sure that you get on there and check it. The first thing I wanted to do today is give a beautiful shout out to my grandson, Kenneth. I cannot believe this, but this kid is 14 years old. Kenneth, happy birthday, my love. 14 years old. I cannot freaking even fathom it, but I love you so much. And I wanted to make sure I shouted you out. I know that you're in school right now, but mommy will show you this later. I love you, my love. I love you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. So my daughter's gonna be in 2 days, and then my son is gonna be like next week. So it's like crazy how they're all around the same place. So I'm really excited to be here, and I love hey Red, that's my beautiful brother. Mwah, I love you. Um I wanted to be here to talk to you guys about aiming low so that you can gain much. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because I realized having conversations with people that I love, my son, my hubby, my friends, my coaching clients, all of that. We are always aiming so high, which is there's nothing wrong with aiming high. The problem is that we don't realize that you have to aim low first. So I just wanted you to aim, period. Right. So what's going on is I'm realizing that a lot of people are aiming really, really high, but they're not breaking down the steps. And so what I am proposing, what I'm bringing to you is to aim low so that you can gain much. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want you to aim. That doesn't mean that I don't think you're going to elevate or that you're going somewhere. That doesn't mean that you have to, not aim at all, or aiming low doesn't mean being beneath your needs. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about doing a tiny bit at a time and doing it completely imperfectly, because the truth is that in order for you to get anything done, you're going to have to start small. You're going to have to start with the little. And what's happening, at least what I'm seeing with people that I'm speaking to, social media, all of that, is that these people go on, right? And they show you like, I will get you completely wealthy in 90 days, right? So they're giving you that big aim, but they're not telling you about all the little shitty steps that you have to take to actually really get what they're trying to tell you. Most of them are full of shit anyway, but there's some out there that are legit, right? I don't think they're going to make you wealthy in 90 days, but hey, I haven't found that yet. I know that with me, it took a lot of little steps in order to get to what I really wanted to do in life. And it takes steps to get to where you want to go. When I work with my coaching clients, I don't promise them 6, 7, 8, 9 figures. Okay. Because if they don't do the work, they ain't going to get that. So I don't promise that, because I'm not going to promise you something that you're not willing to put the little work in with. Right. So you need the smaller steps, and you need to aim at those lower levels that you don't want to do in order for you to start to gain momentum and move forward. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. And if it does, drop a comment. Let me know if it does or doesn't. Right. So in order for you to do much, to gain much, to have anything at all, you're going to have to start small, whether it's a small plan, a small step, a small goal, whatever that is. But you have to start somewhere, and you can't just go from now to like whatever it is you're trying to go for, building that multi-million-dollar business without doing the shit you don't want to do. Right. And one of the things I've realized is a lot of comparison is coming into place. And that is happening a lot. Like, I don't know why, but like mainly within the last like maybe 3 to 4 months, I just realized that is coming up more in my conversations. And people are just comparing themselves to someone else that they're seeing in their niche or in their, type of business or whatever that is. And they're comparing themselves to this person and asking them questions like, why aren't I there yet? Why don't I have that? I need to do A, B, C, et cetera, et cetera. Like if I said to myself, "Oh, I'm going to compare myself to Chris Ross, and I have to compare myself to everything that he's doing and how he's building Winject and all the stuff that he has going on." I can't do that. I can't. He's been in the game for a while, right? So comparing myself to him is going to not serve me, right? And I'm not going to want to do the little stuff because I'm looking at the big things and wanting to do those things, which I haven't even learned yet. I haven't even been practicing. I have no idea how to get there. So I'm going to suggest to you that you compare yourself today to who you were yesterday, right? Not to someone else, not to someone else's today, but to who you were yesterday. And that's how you start to move forward. If you start to compare yourself to who you were yesterday, then you will actually know who you are, what you did, what you didn't do, what you could do better. You, not somebody else, right? In the beginning of this game, I used to compare myself to the other podcasters. Oh, well, I like the way they do this, and I want to do that, and I want to do this, and I couldn't find my flow. And the reason I couldn't find it is I kept comparing myself to them. When instead, what I started to do is shift the way I started thinking, and I realized that the only competition that I'm in is with me, right? Competing at being the best version of me today. Right? So what I didn't do yesterday, whatever I didn't do yesterday, I have to look at that and say, why? Right? And you have to see that you are the worthy opponent. You are the worthy opponent to you because you know what you've been through. You know what you've overcome. You know what you could do better. You know how you can improve. You know how you can compare yourself. You know what you didn't. You know what your ass didn't do. You know what you started telling yourself. You know what you started repeating in your mind. You only know what you do, right? So you have to realize that you are a worthy opponent because every day you wake up with you sleep with you look at you, right? And so you have to start saying to yourself, what didn't I do yesterday that I wanted to do but didn't do? What is the outcome of that? How do I improve that? Because I'm telling you, there's a lot of phony people out there. There's a lot of like fake gurus, a lot of people feeding you a bunch of garbage that's not true. And so you can't compare yourself with them because you're comparing yourself to some of these people who are not true to begin with. So it's not a true comparison. There's not an accurate measure. Okay. I want you to measure with you. Start aiming at the smaller things that maybe you could have done but didn't. The truth is, you probably don't have everything you need right now to be successful. That's probably true. And that is okay because you probably suck at what you are trying to do right now. Because the whole point is there's a goal ahead of you, right? There's something you want to do. So you don't know how to get there just yet. So you're probably going to suck as you go for it. I know I have. Right? Because when you start anything in life, anything, relationships, business, parenting, whatever, when you first start and you don't have like a premise or really know how to do it, you suck. Let's just be real, right? We usually suck a little bad with our first kid. Our second kid, we're a little bit more open-minded, a little better, and so on and so forth, right? And when you start anything in life, that is the beginning of your journey towards this big goal that you have, you're going to be awful at it. You're just going to be awful, right? You're going to struggle. It's going to suck. You're not going to like it. You're not going to know everything. And this is good. All right. Because this will humble your ass instead of you thinking you know it all. And it will teach you that nothing is done overnight. It's going to take you focus, determination, discipline, outlook. It's going to give you strategy. But how do you start? With the small shiznick you don't want to do. Writing out a plan, writing down steps, thinking about a goal. How do you get there? Right? If I want to start really working out hard, I'm going to have to start with maybe walking first, right? Get my body used to it. Then maybe a little jog, then maybe running and so on. But you cannot do that. I can't just go out right now, put on my sneakers and go for a run because I'm not a runner, right? So That would be dumb. It'd be stupid. I would suck at it. It would be a matter of seconds before I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I'm burnt out. And that is what's happening to a lot of you. You are looking at that major thing you want to reach, which is awesome. But the problem is you're not willing to aim low enough to gain much. You want to just go. You want to just do that thing. But you don't realize that maybe that person looks good, let's say social media, because maybe they started sucking at first doing videos that were awful, right? But then they learned how to maybe manipulate the way something looks, maybe adding in some other, pictures and frames. Maybe they got a social media marketing team, whatever that is. They didn't start that way. Nobody starts that way. We all start at a place of suck, right? Right? But the only way to gain much is to aim low. Okay. And what I mean is doing the crap you don't want to do. That is how you start to move forward. Take that first step. Stop trying to do everything. Aim at the smaller things, right? That stuff that you're just looking at, like, I don't want to write out a plan. I don't want to do my scheduling. I don't want to do my budget. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to be rich. Good luck with that. Good luck. Okay? Because it's going to take you a lot of focus, determination, your discipline, your grit, your know-how, strategy. How do you get strategy? You have to go through life. When I started on my path of becoming a chef, right? I remember I started as a dishwasher. I was going to school, but I was dishwashing. I dishwashed for almost 4 years. It was hard. It was dirty. It was tedious. It was an unappreciated job. It was part of my journey, right? And even while going through that, I was homeless. All right. So I lost my house, lost my cars, lost everything. And I was going to school and I was being a dishwasher. I think I was getting paid like $9 an hour or something like that. Right? It was a dirty job. It was an unappreciated job, but I did it to the best of my ability. In fact, before I left that job, they were begging me to stay because nobody kept that kitchen as clean and organized as I did. Why? I took pride in what I was doing. And so I worked my ass off. I focused on my goals. I kept on going. I moved forward one step at a time. I aimed really low. Like, you know what? Let me be the best dishwasher ever. Let me just make sure I do this. Let me make sure I know chemicals. Let me make sure I know all of the ServSafe certifications. Let me make sure that I know all the laws in place that need to happen. Right. And I focused. And I was homeless and I focused. And I was struggling and I focused. Right. And I aimed at all of the small little things, just getting up in the morning to get there. And because of that, and because of my determination and all of the strategies that I learned doing the crap and aiming low that I didn't want to do, I reached up. Right. So as I kept going, I now am a director. I teach other people how to lead, how to manage. I am now 6 figures across my careers in businesses. Why? I aimed low. I kept going on to things that I did not want to do, those things that were really pounding the pavement, pounding my mind, like I just had to get this done, even though I didn't want to. So stop trying to compare yourself with other people, okay? Stop trying to be like someone else. Not possible. You are the only you. Aim low at the things. Aim low at the strategies and the stuff that you have to get done, okay? Yes, you have goals. I get it. But what I want you to start doing is aim. I just want you to aim, right? Like when I first started podcasting, I sucked. I was listening to some of my old, you know, monologues because that's what they were. They were just long rants and monologues. They were all right? But there was no intro, there was no outro, there was no strategy. I mean, it's awful, right? So now I'm not there anymore. I've elevated that. And when I joined Winject, it elevated me even more. Right? Why? You learn, you grow, you strategize, you talk to people who have been in the game longer than you. You start to get more tools under your belt. You start to realize where you're spending your money that maybe is hurting you and not helping you. Right? So when I first started, I really, really sucked. And you're going to suck too. Sorry to tell you. And that is okay. I want you to. Good morning. Hi, love you. Good morning. And I just want you to be at a place where you are going to realize that You're not going to get it all. You're going to suck at it. You need to do all the stuff that nobody wants to do, right? And you're going to have to do that, because if you think that you're going to just circumvent that and go around, you are not going to learn the strategies, the tools, and everything that you need to overcome the problem when it shows up as ugly head again, because it will, right? It really will. I think any entrepreneur will tell you that they have learned so many great lessons because they learned a hard lesson that really hurt them. And then when that lesson tried to come up again, they had a strategy around how to work around it. But you can't do that if what you're doing is looking at this one and that one and this one and, oh, I'm going to just do that. Oh, I'm going to just do that. Oh, you know what? Now I'm going to do that. And what happens is now you're tired, you're fatigued, you're wasting time, you're wasting money. You have no plan, no roadmap, nothing. You're just, right? And I have to tell you that now when I bring on guests to my show, it's an experience. It's not just, oh, hi, how are you? Yeah, sure, come on in. All right, yeah, I'm gonna just press this button right now. We're gonna just record. No, it is an experience, and that is on purpose, right? Because now I learned how to drag and bring in my guest so that they can be enveloped in everything that I am giving them for that podcast, that interview at that moment. And every single guest, because I send them a feedback form, every one of them has told me that they had the most fun that they have had in any other podcast, and they were super impressed on how professional and streamlined it all is. Thank you, Chris Ross. Thank you, Inject. Right? That wasn't the case in the beginning. I sucked, right? But I started to take inventory about what I was doing and what needed to change. And I started to aim low at the things I did not want to do: writing out a plan, writing out a script, writing out, an email, writing out all this stuff I didn't want to do. But I started taking inventory of what I was doing and how I could improve. And nobody wants to do that. We just want to go ahead and be on, and here, money's flying in, right? But I started taking notes, and I started taking notes on myself of who I was yesterday and what I was and what today looks like. And I did that even last night. I started thinking, okay, today I did ABC. I worked really hard. I did blah blah blah. But you know what? I could have done this better, and I really need to focus on this. So I wrote that down, and that's what I'm focusing on today. Comparing myself to me and doing the things that we consider low in order for me to gain much, right? I also started taking notes about people who inspired me, right? Just notice people that you want to kind of gain a momentum. Maybe like, how does a thinner person think? How does a more wealthy person think? What would an intelligent person do with this information? Don't compare yourself. I don't want you to say, oh, I'm not good enough, or I can't, or they're like me, or nothing. I'm saying looking for inspiration, right? To gain wisdom and strategy, not to compare. Because the minute that you start comparing to yourself to whatever you're looking at in a camera or online or whatever it is, you're comparing yourself to something that's fake and phony, because you don't know how long it took them to get there. You don't know what they went through. You don't know if they're crying in the shower just that morning because they're struggling, right? And you're trying to compare yourself to that. It's not going to work. Compare yourself to you. The truth is that you will not see any changes right away, right? You might get epiphanies and aha moments, but you're not going to see straight changes immediately, right? You have to be at a place where you know that you are trying to do something better, that you want to gain a change in your life, and you know that there's something that needs to happen. So aim low. The point here is to aim. Okay? I want you to aim low at the stuff that you don't want to do, that 1%, that one step, in order for you to go forward. Now, there may be things in the beginning that you may not see as important enough, right? Or you don't feel like doing it. I know I don't. I don't feel like going for a walk, but I'm going to have to if I'm going to want to lose this weight, right? I'll feel like it, but my feelings don't really, have the right to push me into my success or not. I have to be strategic and think about what it is I have to do in order to move forward, not what I feel like doing, right? Your feelings are going to come and go all the time. You're in love one minute, hate them the next minute. I mean, come on now. We all know, right? So I want you to look at the things that you don't see that are important enough, the things that maybe I don't really have to do a budget. I mean, I know how much is in the bank. And then before you know it, you're like at a negative and you're going, how the hell did I get there? Well, you didn't want to do the things that were important enough, and you didn't want to put in yourself into the actual steps you had to take to aim low in order to gain much, right? So before you let something cost you a lot because you don't want to do it, make sure that you start looking at what it is you want to gain in your life. And only you know what that is. And only you know how to bring it about. Now, you may need somebody, a friend, a mentor, a coach. I don't know. I don't know who you want to work with. But what I know is we all need someone there who can strategize with us and help us build out a roadmap so that we can get to the next steps, even when we don't want to do it. You know how many times I've spoken to my clients and I'm like, did you do XYZ? I hold people accountable. So they already know before they come on that next call with me, something better be done. That's all I'm saying, right? I was thinking about my son. My son is a musician. He's a music producer. And when he was starting this journey about, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago, something like that, he was doing it for so many years in secret, just messing up, learning, messing up, learning, messing up, learning, developing his skills, messing up, developing his skills. Like just as he didn't want to do it, but he knew he had a passion for it. And so he started to teach himself. This boy has taught himself so many things, so many like playing different instruments. Like I don't even know. It's crazy to see him work today, but it took him years behind the scenes, right? Now people see him and they want to work with him, and he's doing extremely well, right? And he's pretty much a sought after producer. Then people want to work with him. Why? Because he did all of the small stuff. He every time he called me, he said, "Oh, but I want to, I want to get a big artist." I'm like, "Yeah, but did you learn this? Did you do this yet? Have you written out your business plan? Did you learn this part of the equipment? Do you know what all of the lines mean on your screen?" Like that kind of stuff, right? And he had to learn that in order to be the person he is today. He didn't want to do it, but he did it. And he messed up a lot, learned a lot, cried a lot, was frustrated a lot, but he was aiming at getting better every single day. And now I am mind blown at what this kid can produce. I know he's not a kid, he's a man right now, but you know what I'm saying, right? Because you will eventually have the skills that you need, the thought process that you need, the products that you need to get to wherever it is you want to go. I promise you. But you have to aim low. You have to aim at the smaller things. Don't ignore them. Don't just aim high, aim high, aim high, aim high, and not be able to put in the work that you need in order to gain much. You will eventually have the skills you need. All right. You will eventually have the skills you need. All right. If you keep trying to aim high and have no skills, you will not be able to maintain it. You're not going to be able to hold on to what it is you're doing. Like all of these, we used to call them back in the day, one hit wonders, right? They used to come out with like this one song. And you're like, yeah, I love that song. Woo. And never heard from them again. It's like, what happened? Right? But that's how it is today. I mean, even with social media, you'll get like that one viral video, and then all your life, you keep trying to chase that same fame from that one viral video. Why? Because you did something and everybody said it was good and it was one thing and blah, blah, blah. You were just so big now, but you didn't even aim low to see how do you, track your momentum? What can you do here to improve yourself? How do you bring value to the world? How do I do this in order to gain much, right? The point here is to aim. And as you get better, you will hit that bullseye. I promise you. Eventually, because you have practiced enough from the beginning, doing the shit you didn't want to do, but you did it anyway. Okay. So I just wanted to leave you with that today because I wanted you guys to at least start to aim and stop trying to compare yourself with everyone else and stop trying to look at everyone else and stop trying to be like, oh my God, I want all of that. And yes, you can have all of that. And it's nice to have that vision in front of you. But what are you willing to do today, though? What are you willing to do today? Right? So make sure that you think about what it is that you want, yes, but how do you aim low to take care of all of that stuff so that you can gain the leverage you need to have much? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. You guys are amazing. Kenneth, I love you. Happy birthday, my love. This is Neena Perez. This is Straight Talk, no sugar added. Until next time.